Sunny day, Saplings! Today we're going to go over this slugfest of a game that I played. I'm the Ivern, I'm against a Lillia. It's a bit of a longer game, but I wanted to give you guys the full game commentary on it. I think there's a lot of good stuff in here, tips and tricks and different invades and all the different stuff that you're typically going to find in some of the lower elo games that you're going to be playing. Typically in lower elo, when you're playing the game, there's a lot more fights and there's a lot more chaos that can occur in a standard game than when you go and watch like a challenger replay or something like that. So I think this game is going to provide us a lot of different feedback and value with items, with invades, with rotations, with fighting, with different principles. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. And so we are at about 7 seconds here. All right, so the first thing we'll notice is the team comps. We have Darius, Lillia, Annie, Caitlyn, Pantheon versus Set, Ivern, Akali, Kai'Sa, and Thresh. Now, our team signals for invade right away. I think we have a pretty good invading team here, so there's no problem with that. Typically, you don't like to invade with Ivern, but when you have a Thresh Ivern, you should be able to. Unfortunately, in this case, the enemy team was actually ready and ready for the invade. So I ended up getting blown up here by the Annie, but you'll notice I had queued. So the Annie ends up getting 2 kills. We get 1 in return here. Caitlyn gets a kill. All in all, it's a 3-for-1. I had queued the Caitlyn right away, but the team either didn't understand or wasn't really ready to jump on that queue. We could have all bursted the Caitlyn there. We did end up hitting our CC abilities. The team just wasn't ready for that or wasn't aware. So we're going to do our standard wolf start here. Because we invaded red side, we can assume Lillia is going to start on her red side. So we can assume that Lillia is starting there, and that's some information that we did end up having. You can see there's 2 red wards sitting by the red. So when we're starting our path, we know Lillia is there. But Lillia is not a heavily invading style of champion, at least on her first clear. She typically likes to full clear across, so we have a ward on our own blue, but we're not too worried about getting invaded here. Just wait a sec, we'll mark those. We're still going to just continue on doing our full clear here. Not a lot's going on. Our bot lane has a lot of pressure, and it looks like our top lane also has a lot of pressure. I tried to do a little trick there, but it didn't quite work for me, so I'm still working on it, still practicing that trick. Oh, that's a little embarrassing, isn't it? So what I typically like to do when I'm doing my clear is I don't usually go back to my own race and clear across. I'll do that if I'm trying to counter jungle, but I actually like this mid lane gank a little bit better. So we put the bush down here to get the empowered autos. We do end up getting the Q there. 1 more auto. Oh, and I thought we had the kill, that's why I backed away, but we just didn't get enough damage to get the kill there. So now I'm going across. I see that Lillia got a kill top. I'm grabbing my own chickens. Alternatively, we could have taken Lillia's chickens and we could have gotten bottom crab, but Lillia is very low from the gank. Look how much health Lillia has. She has very little health. So we know that if she tries to contest us, we just kill her and boom, we get the solo kill. What this means is now we can get both crabs. So no problem walking across here. We can just go back to the other crab. We're going to mark Lilia's camps. We know that she's dead or in the base. Put a ward down there just to spot her out, just in case. Just in case she comes flying out here. Odds are we're not going to get those chickens. I can't really remember. Lillia will probably get there before we do. So now we've double crabbed Lillia. We have basically a 10 CS lead on her. Lillia went to farm the mid wave, so that means I'm free to contest here. Lillia is not strong enough to fight me in a 1v1 at this stage in the game. So we ended up getting those as well. So now the CS in the jungle is 32 to 18, and we can get off our first back. This is a relatively late back for Ivern. This is not typically what you'll see, but because the game is going so well for us right now, it's a-okay to do this back, and we actually get a really nice buy here. So we're against a weaker jungler right now who's behind. So what we ended up getting is a full tier 2 boots of lucidity, the CDR boots. We got a dark seal, which provides us synergy with our refillable potion. We swapped over to our red trinket, and we were able to get the red ward. So this control ward will help us have vision, figure out where Lillia is. Basically, our job as the jungler is to kind of figure out where the enemy jungler is and just kind of see what's going on. So Lilia's bottom, so there's no way to get counter ganked mid here. So that's why we're running mid. We can't do much to prevent the bottom, but we don't want to lose drag. So we know top was warded and Set is kind of holding his own. But now we just want to make sure we don't lose drag control. So putting our pink down there will spot Lillia with any shenanigans. And I guess we really do want to get this, get our Akali going here. We're not 100% sure where Lillia went, but we haven't seen her in a little bit. But if we can get something going with the Akali just hit 6, so it's a really good gank timing here. We weren't able to get her on this attempt either. And now it looks like Lillia is kind of scouting out here. Lillia goes for the gank, so we're here for the counter gank. See what we can do. We missed our CC there, but that's no problem. They're under tower. We can't really tower dive at level 5. But the one thing we do know is that the blue is coming up, and you can tell that by the mini-map. Sorry, the red is coming up. Because Akali has the push and the pressure, we can go and we can invade this. And Akali is waiting. Now, Lillia gets way too aggressive here. We get the slow shield. We end up getting the kill there, which is really good for Akali. But our bot lane ended up dying. But you can see on the side squares, Pantheon's very low, so if we can find him, we can pick him up here. We get the stun down there, and it's 2 easy kills for our Akali. This whole play was created because of the pressure that we got mid lane. And we're still up 10 CS on Lillia, and all of our camps are up. Because we use Daisy for that exchange, the obvious play is to go straight to Dragon, because you can only take Dragon by yourself when you have Daisy, and because we're in a position of strength here, it's a fine play to try and make. What we didn't anticipate is Darius roaming around, but we ended up getting out of it okay. Darius does end up getting the kill there. Looks like our Set doesn't have TP and didn't bother to roam, so in this case we lost the pressure that we gained, and so we kind of have to give up the dragon. So once you realize that the objective is no longer contestable, what you want to do is just go and mark all your camps as fast as you can. The more often you can mark your camps and the more CS you can get that way, the further we can push our lead on Lillia here. Lillia is clearing her camps relatively quickly, but we're still maintaining that 10 CS lead, which is really good. Looks like we're at 14 right now. And we have the timer on the blue because we killed her around that time. So we know Akali has all the pressure. Because Akali has all the pressure and Darius is hugging his tower, we can see Darius. And we're stronger than Lillia. We're level 7 to her level 6. I missed my Q there. I missed my Q. But we have all the pressure. So our team is rotating first here. I flash just to get away from Darius. We end up getting that kill. And so you can only make this kind of play if you trust your team to rotate. Akali previously had rotated with me, so I trusted her to make the right play, and it ends up netting us 2 kills. Looks like Akali is still fighting. Yeah, so it ends up netting us 2 kills and the blue buff. So you can see we're now 1k gold up. No reason to get greedy here. We almost killed Annie with Daisy, but we don't want to die to Lillia here. So we should have a lot of gold. We have a bounty right now. We don't want to give over our bounty. We also want to protect Akali though. Akali is pretty low here. So we just want to make sure, and then we want to clear our camps that we prepped earlier. Hopefully we end up doing that. Sometimes it's okay to sacrifice your camps in the name of pressure and name of helping your teammates. But in general, you want to grab your camps as quickly as you can because that's the guaranteed gold, right? So even though this game is relatively even, we do have majority of our lanes have pressure. Our bot lane needs a little bit help, but it's Pantheon Caitlyn versus Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa's worst part of her game is the laning phase, right? And those are 2 pretty lane dominant champions. So Kai'Sa's going to grab a lot more value later on in the team fights when she has an Ivern and a Thresh to help her out. But what we've been able to do is really neutralize Lilia's pressure and really do our best to keep her from hurting our solo lanes. Team is pinging out Lillia on the Rift Herald. We want to preempt Daisy because we know it's going to be a fight. And we want to get them off the objective as best as we can. We end up getting the Annie here. A free kill. Oh, I misplayed. So that's a misplay on my part. I shielded myself instead of Akali. Akali maybe lives there if I shield her, but we did end up getting 2 kills. So now our Akali is very fed. We're up a little bit of gold. Not too much. It's pretty even still. Because there's nothing to do mid lane, mid is pushed, and I cannot get the Herald by myself. I was just seeing if Darius was going to hard engage into Set. And since he ended up backing off very quickly, I made the call here for Set to come to the Herald. Lillia cannot contest. And Annie should be glued to mid lane. And we see that Darius backed. So it's a free Herald for us. And we want to try and use it to get plates if possible. So we see Thresh is ganking mid. We're trying to get there as quick as we can. Looks like Thresh ends up dying on the rotation. The dragon is coming up, so we do need to put our attention bottom. Preempting a fight, we do pull out Daisy here. It's okay to do that because even if you don't use Daisy, you could still use Daisy for vision. You can still use Daisy for objective clearing. So it's perfectly fine to pull out Daisy a little bit early. So one of the tricks you can do is make a bush line. And now they don't know where you're going to engage from, right? So we don't want to use our smite on the crab because we only have 1 smite left. Unfortunately, they end up getting the... Oh no, we got the crab. We have a really good engage. Shield on set. Looks like Annie whiffs her tibbers about as badly as you can. We flash to shield set, making sure he doesn't die. Set is asleep right now. We want to shield him again. Perfect. Typically, the enemies are always going to go for the lowest health person, even if that's not really who they should be going for. So you notice we shield set the whole time. Thresh starts the dragon. We want to make sure he doesn't die. And we end up getting the ace here. We put the Herald mid just to apply even more pressure. Help Akali get the mid tower. Set's going to back. And then we're going to go over to the dragon and secure it for ourselves. So now we've opened about a 3k gold lead. We have a dragon under our belt. Our Akali is 6-2. Our set is 5-2. And we got a bunch of items coming in. We got Manamune. We're stacking it. Set has his Sunfire Cape and a Bramble Vest, which is really good against Darius. We can go back and mark all of our camps. Obviously, we don't have a lot of mana here, so we need to grab the blue buff as quick as we can. At this stage of the game, it's relatively fast to mark your camps, so we can clear one side, then clear the other, which is really nice. And we also have 10 stacks on our Dark Seal. You notice that? We first itemed Athene's Unholy Grail. It's one of the best items on Ivern. It's one of your core items. They have a Lillia and they have an Annie. So Athene's gives you magic resist. It also gives you extra ability power for every Forbidden Idol support item that you build. So now we see that Lilia's top. We're going to go over there and try and make a difference. And then we're going to want to buy a Mejai's here relatively soon. Looks like we give him a shield here. He's not in danger of dying. But we were a bit late to the play, so we couldn't do much. She actually sleeps me here, and I end up dying for it. This is a pretty bad play by me. Not something I would recommend. Looks like our team ends up rotating on it. So this is all about the enemy team overextending for kills, and our team collapsed really nicely. I ended up kind of inting, but the enemy team inted harder. So we open up we're still at a 3k gold lead. So not a lot has changed so far. We're gonna go back, get our red, get our chickens, our raptors. So we did end up buying the Mejai's, and we got another Forbidden Idol. So that's going to synergize nicely with our CDR. It's going to synergize nicely with our Athene's Unholy Grail, giving us a bunch of AP. Let's see if it'll show. Does it show? I don't think it'll show. Not really. Target frame? Is that what this is? So at this point in the game, we have 131 ability power, 72 magic resist, 60 armor, 375 move speed, 75 attack damage, and 0.81 attack speed. Looks like our Kaiser's having a little connection issues in this game. That's no problem though. We're so far ahead. When playing this game, it felt like we were really far ahead. We're building to against Lillia. We have a lot of CS on Lillia. We're playing relatively well. Pantheon does have a lot of kills. Caitlyn is not that strong though. We have Gwynsu's Muramana on our Kai'Sa. And so she's very strong. Because we see how strong our Kai'Sa is, it's okay for us to just play around the bot lane. Set is bottom pushing anyway, and Kai'Sa is generally going to be in the mid lane at this stage of the game, so it's really good for us to mark some camps, go to Kai'Sa. take our marked camps, go back to Kai'Sa, right? That's kind of what we're doing right now. And then once dragon spawns, we want to make sure we get early vision on the dragon. Looks like we have 2 pink wards there already. And the team is looking to start a fight here. So we get the flash engage, which is really nice. We're going to get the knock up. Perfect. Akali gets the kill there. Akali making some crazy plays here. Thresh flashes for some reason. So all of this is in an attempt to get the dragon. We ended up getting a pick, so now we can rotate over to the dragon. Like I said, this game is a messy game. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of silly mistakes. There's a lot of good mistakes. There's a little bit of Kai'Sa DCing. But I think this is like the real League of Legends that like you find in silver, gold, platinum elos, right? So I think this is really good to show kind of the other side of it, right? You don't always want to show just the perfect games. There's a lot of errors that both sides make. We missed all of our CC right there, but we got the pick on the jungler, so we should just start the dragon here. Oh, that's a really good hook on Caitlyn. I'm getting chased by Darius here. So we're doing this whole fight without Kai'Sa. There's not a lot I can do. Because we didn't have Kai'Sa, so we kind of lost that fight. We should have just went to the dragon a long time ago. Not really sure why we're doing this, but it's because Kai'Sa was missing for that fight. But through all the chaos, we've gradually worked our way up to 14 mejai stacks. So our shields are shielding for quite a bit. Looks like Annie is on us. We don't want to die because of mejai stacks. We're fighting Annie. Dragon is helping us. Dragon's helping us. And now we're really, really low. So Daisy starts targeting. We killed basically most of their team, and this should be a free drag for us. Yep, we grab the dragon. Annie wastes her ult, and we can grab the blue buff here. Mark our camps, and then we can reset and buy some items. We're still at about a 3k gold lead, so this game is not over by any means. Their Lillia is 1-9 though. If we look at the item breakpoints, Akali's has half of Azanya's, and she also has the Oblivion Orb, which is really good against Darius and all the life-stealing characters. So that's a nice buy, but she kind of has half of each item. Apparently I just missed this Thresh Lantern. I'm sorry, Thresh. My bad, my bad. And Set has a... Well, Set's been running back and forth a lot, right? So Set has the Dead Man's Plate, and he has Sunfire Cape and a Bramble Vest for Darius. So Darius is really up against it here. We have a lot of Grievous Wounds. So he kind of is not having a good time. Looks like because Kai'Sa DC'd again, Thresh is going to die here for no reason, making this game extremely difficult. Okay, it looks like Kai'Sa's finally back. We're going to go and try and find Darius, who was split pushing on the side wave. Our Akali is bottom, doesn't have TP, but she will generate a lot of pressure. We lost a bunch of our pressure here. Thresh gets a really nice hook on Lillia. We end up getting in there for the kill, which is really, really good. Thresh has been landing some nice hooks here. We see Darius up there. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, but we do have Baron pressure now. We're up to 16 mejai stacks, and we ended up finishing our Ardent Sensor, which is really good for Kai'Sa, helping give more damage. Gives us a bunch of cooldown reduction and some ability power, and we end up starting the Baron. Starting the Baron is relatively difficult. in low elo, but we know that Lillia is dead, so if they come, we just turn. We get the hook here on Pantheon. We should be able to get the kill. Annie ended up dying, Pantheon ended up dying, and now Darius is running in. We're gonna try. I'm continuing on the Baron. Daisy is on the Baron as well. Looks like we end up getting it. I'm drowsy. We get a nice locket from Thresh to keep us all healthy. And now we're up to 20 mejai stacks. The flash Q on Darius results in one more kill here. We're at 22 mejai stacks and we have Baron. And now the gold lead has ballooned up to almost 7,000. So let's see what we can get with this Baron. Looks like because we're the stronger team here and they're down a player, we're just kind of grouping mid. Thresh is almost dying, but we end up saving him. He gets a nice hook on Pantheon. They end up getting the kill, and we double shield the Thresh just to grab that. And now we can use our Baron pressure to grab our third dragon. Looks like our Kai'Sa now has Gnasher's Tooth and her Muramana is fully stacked. We're waiting on the other side of the wall to see who would come. Looks like they do have a ward on it. We're pulling out the dragon here just because they have a ward on it. We don't want to give this over. But it is a good opportunity for us to fight. So we get the dragon, but we didn't end up getting a fight. If you can get a pick there, it's really, really nice. But we ended up just grabbing the dragon, no problem. And now we mark our camps and we can reset again. 24 mejai stacks. We're doing a lot of damage. Our Akali's finished her Zanyas. Looks like Thresh has a Knight's Vow. Our set has a Spirit Visage for just some ability power, or some magic resist, I mean. So now, because the game's going very well for us, we pick up 2 needlessly large rods, and we're obviously building towards that Rabadon's death cap. 24 mejai stacks plus Rabadon's death cap is going to make our shields about 700 shielding and damage, roughly, with the items that we currently have. I think we can check that. We'll do it when the Rabadon's is up. So we grabbed the kill there. We end up blowing a flash. Kai'Sa gets popped. And looks like this is turned around on us. Akali's playing with fire. We just keep shielding Thresh and doing damage. All of our shields end up getting the kill on Lillia. We can keep fighting this because we're so powerful. We're gonna end up... We're doing a lot of damage. So we just picked up 2 quick kills, 25 mejai stacks. I really wanted to get the Annie, but I ended up missing my abilities here. We didn't end up getting an inhib on our Baron, however, which is kind of sad. But looks like our whole team is end up winning all of these fights here. So our shield is basically half of Akali's health, which is really nice. We end up getting the Darius here. We'll have Daisy tank the tower for us. We can keep shielding her until the minions come. We end up getting the tower. We're very low and we don't want to lose our stacks, so we're just doing what we can. We do not want to get too cocky here. However, looks like we do end up getting too cocky. Well, yeah, we end up dying here, I think. We missed the fadeaway Q. Okay, so we lost half of our mejai stacks for basically hard turbo inting. Don't do that, okay? When you're playing the game, just play it safe, reset, spend your gold, go back, mark your camps, get your farm. That was pretty boosted by us, but we're so far ahead that it shouldn't matter. If we take a look here, Thresh is soloing the blue buff for some reason, which is highly hilarious. We got Kai'Sa coming through. We end up getting our Rabadon's deathcap now, which is really, really nice. But we only have 15 mejai stacks now. So we got to restack them. We got to get more stacks. So if we check how much our shield is doing. So right now with 15 mejai stacks, we're doing 646 shielding. And we're doing about 596 damage. And of course it slows for 70%. So you can see how when you keep stacking that, it scales really nicely. Looks like our team's getting into a fight without us, which is not ideal. But we are winning it. It is pretty risky though. And then we run in here for the cleanup. Kai'Sa ends up dying. We were just greedy once. I'm not sure how greedy we get here. We're up to 17 mejai stacks now. Daisy doing crazy damage. Oh, we end up getting the kill there with Aerie and Daisy. Really sick play. And that's the power of full AP Ivern. Gives us 4 more stacks. We're up to 21. We got our 2 pink wards here, and we're going to go over and get the Dragon Soul. A fed Ivern and a fed set can do a lot of work here. So we end up getting the kill there on Annie. We miss our Q there, unfortunately, which is not good. But we don't want to get executed. We end up getting the kill there with the shield pop. Really nice. So now we're 8, 3, and 20. They have 2 dead. It should be free drag here. We've opened up 8k gold lead. We are really, really winning this game rather handedly through some of our early game plays that we made. So we grabbed the soul. We're going to go over and grab the Baron. And then make kind of a final push for the end. At this point, the enemy team can't really mess with us. Lillia only has 2 items to our 4 items. We've done a really good job of neutralizing her. Annie has 3 items. Caitlyn has 3 items, which is scary. Darius has 3 items. That's kind of their strongest members. Lillia uses the sleep. Of course, we're going to shield our Kai'Sa. Protect our AD carry as best we can. We end up getting the quick kill there. Always protect your strongest member. In this case, it actually is Kai'Sa, and that's where you get the surrender right there. So through our early game pathing and our use of pressure on the buffs and our team kind of rotating for us to make proactive plays, we were able to open up a big gold lead. We ended up with 25 mejai stacks, a Rabadon's deathcap. We solo killed the Caitlyn. We got the all the rest of the dragons. We actually had to give up the first dragon there, and then we ended up being strong enough to contest the next 4 and grab them ourselves. So a lot of the times it's a really nice strategy. But I hope you guys learned something from this, and have a sunny day, saplings. Bye.
go!